Here we have an area where I had to remove the sill plate, and in doing so you've always also noticed that many of the bricks were loose, and I need to remove some to cut the sill plate anyways, but it was a mess here, real big mess. So what I've done is pulled out all the loose ones. Everything else, it's not super solid. I mean, it is 150 years old. So I pulled everything out. I pulled all the loose stuff down with my hands. I did wear a mask and eye protection, of course, because it's a mess. And then I brushed it down with a whisk broom. Now you could brush all day and you'll keep getting stuff off because it is old, very old. So we brushed it down to a reasonable amount. Now we're going to wet it down. Now this is just too slow, so I'm going to just dump some water on it because this is the second part of my prep. We're just preparing the surfaces for the concrete and the new brick, or putting the brick back. And I'm wetting it down. The reason I'm wetting it down twofold: get more of the loose stuff off. But secondly, we want the surfaces clean, and actually three reasons. By wetting the brick down, when we put the mortar on, it's not going to just suck the water out of it really fast. It's going to pull it out slower, let it cure and stick better. So we're going to go mix up the mortar. We're going to wet this down again, and then we'll start the repair process. And we can show you the outside of the brick too, but it needs a lot of work, both inside and outside. See, the base of the foundation is stone. And then at ground level they did brick, and at one point, I don't know if it was original or not, but they surfaced this with a concrete. Now they didn't go in here because of the porch, but you can see how gapped these are. I brushed them out a reasonable amount, and now I'm going to wet them down, because what I want to do is I want to concrete all this with that fiber mixed mortar, because I want this thing solid. So we're wetting it down good. And then we're going to go mix up the mortar, and then we're going to re-wet it, and then we'll start mortaring this in. We're going to mortar all this in. We're going to surface it at the same time. We're going to do it against the window there so that all this is sealed in. Once we get this done up to here, then we'll put the sill plate back on, jack this up if we need to, and have it repaired. So let's go mix up the mortar. Okay, we have our mortar bucket, a 5-gallon pail, and we have not a lot of water in it, but we do need it quite a bit because we are doing a pretty big area. We could always mix up more later if we need it. And then this is our fiber reinforced mortar, and it's good to mask up because this stuff's really dusty. When I have my two general tools that I use, just something to hold it and then push it in with it. You can see the fibers. So we're going to put a bunch in. And we'll just keep putting more in, and we'll show you in a few minutes once I get it ready. Okay, you can see we're getting close. Once you get close, you can see how it's a little thin yet. Get a couple more of these. It thickens up really fast once it gets to a certain point. And if you go over, then what you want to do is just add a little bit of water. But this is pretty thin, but this might work good for, well, it's a little on the thin side. Go one more, and I would say that will do it. And then we'll keep our spray bottle with us, and as it hardens a little bit or starts to set, we put more water in and mix it up. Okay, we wetted it down. We got our mortar mixed up, a little bit on the loose side, although it's been setting, so we need to mix it up. Yeah, it's still good and loose. And we can put just a small amount on. then we're going to start shoving it in. And we're going to keep doing that gently until we get all these bricks reinforced. And then after that, we're going to start building this up and continue our repair. So we'll show you a little bit more in a couple minutes. Okay, I've been working on it about a half hour, maybe an hour. And you can see I've added a few bricks. Also, the window was crooked, so I had to go in, open up the window, the glass, and then tap the bottom in to try to get it a little straighter. So I think it is a little straighter now. It's not too bad on the inside. So now we'll go inside and we'll put some more bricks on. We'll show you that next. Okay, here on the inside, you can see I started to go around the window area. We have a big gap here, so we're going to work on that. Basically, we're taking the old bricks, wiping them down, can't even wet them down some, figuring out where they're going to go, and then we're putting the concrete on one side and the edge or whatever's going to be against another brick, setting it in place, and then we'll mortar around it and we'll keep building this up. We can't use full bricks in most of the cases, so we'll use the broken brick, and if we have to, we'll break some more brick. But we'll get this all filled in, all solid around the window, so we're not getting air here through it anymore. And it'll just be a much better job. Now we have to do some jacking up here because I noticed the frame's getting pushed down a lot. But we first got to get this built up and then we can do that. Okay, ideally I'd like to have the brick showing, but on the outside our brick are soft and we need the support, so that's in this case more important. Now on the inside we're going to have a combination because we have issues like this where the brick is just disintegrating. It's just too soft, I guess. So we're going to have to do some work. You know, that'll end up being concrete right there. But I'll try to leave all the others showing that we can. So it'll be a little mix, but at least we'll see some of the brick. And down here you can see the stone. Again, we may have to do some repair on the stone too. But the bottom line is we need like a joint like this. I'm going to clean that out and eventually mortar that too. Ideally we want a really strong basement. The looks is very important, but the strength is even more important. So we'll have a combination of brick, stone, and concrete, but the end result is it'll be solid.